I released my first game about 3 or 4 months ago, and as I mentioned in my last video, and the video before that, my game has a lot of bugs, horrible matchmaking, and everyone who plays it has absurdly high pings. Grapples Galore has been received well, but its review score has been slowly dropping because of this. I want to finally fix that though, and to do that, I've got a pretty hefty checklist to get through. I want to refactor the game's code, switch networking solutions yet again, completely get rid of the lobby, and I need to do some major bug fixing. Alright, let's start with the first part of this process, refactoring. Refactoring, for those who don't know, is the process of restructuring code without changing any of its original functionality. It's something you need to do as a programmer to avoid horrible spaghetti code, but something I barely do. I have several scripts with 1,000+ lines of code that make any sort of structural changes to the game or bug fixing a nightmare. Grapples Galore is my first game, and because of that, a lot of the code I made early on is pretty bad. I've learned a lot about how to write clean code over the years, but it's been intimidating to just go back and clean up a lot of this old code. I want to make the Grapples Galore codebase easy to navigate, use, and even modular though. I've got a few ideas for future online multiplayer games, and it would be awesome to be able to reuse some code in them. Online multiplayer game development can be really hard, so I might as well try to make it easier for myself this way. Okay, so I've done quite a bit of refactoring now, and it's been a very tedious process. There are so many bugs that keep popping up out of nowhere, just because of how bad my game's code was, but after refactoring, they're usually pretty easy to figure out and fix. That's one of the main advantages of refactoring after all. Right now you're seeing a bug that causes a bunch of players to spawn all around the map whenever you die, and you end up controlling a bunch of players all at once. It looks like a really bad bug, but after refactoring it only took a few minutes of bug fixing to sort out. On top of refactoring, I also actually started the second thing I wanted to complete, which is switching networking solutions. My game has had super bad latency issues for a while now, so I want to try switching to a networking solution that's supposed to be better, called Fishnet. So far I'm really liking it. One of the things I'm most excited about after working on these two parts of the game, though, is that I think I finally fixed my game's biggest bug. This bug has been in the game since launch, so this is a huge relief. It's basically a bug that would sometimes cause you to be unable to join or host any lobbies without restarting your game first. Like half of my game's negative reviews come from this bug alone. I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee though and get back to it. Alright, so I'm pretty much done switching networking solutions now, and I can already see big improvements in players' pings. I've also done most of the refactoring I hope to complete now. I highly recommend giving yourself time to refactor code if you're trying to make a game. It may feel unproductive as it slows down your game's development, and it can also be quite boring, but long term it will go a long way and make expanding your game and bug fixing so much easier. Of course it shouldn't be the only thing you do, but giving yourself a good amount of time to build a clean code base is super valuable. Not doing this is part of the reason you see so many buggy releases nowadays. I've also started making a few quality of life changes to my game. The biggest change I've made is removing the lobby. It felt like it was slowing down gameplay, and waiting for players to ready up was really boring. Normally like half of the lobby would leave right after a match instead of just waiting for everyone to ready up. Now you just immediately start another game after the last one finished. I'm really happy with this change, and after some playtesting with friends, they seem to really like this change as well. Because of this, I had to move the character customization and the match settings over to the main menu too. I also added a new map pool system, so the host defines a map pool, and every match a new map is randomly picked from this pool. It took some time to get the custom maps properly working with this, but it's pretty fun now that everything works. I also added a little display that shows every lobby's settings before you join. Someone on my Discord also reached out and helped me add Ukrainian to the game. Ukraine is my 4th biggest demographic, so I'm really happy about this. After playtesting this update a little bit and doing some bug fixing, the reception has been good, so I think I'm going to release it. The release of this update was a little rocky at first. The game kept crashing when I released it, and I had to revert the update for a bit until I fixed the issue. It ended up being caused by the way workshop maps were loaded, but I fixed that now. Once I actually got the update out though, people seemed to generally like it. I got a few complaints about the removal of lobbies because it made private lobbies kind of tricky to use and there's no real way to invite Steam friends into your lobby. You could still technically do this through the Steam overlay and Shift tab, but the game had no official support for this. I fixed this now though by adding your Steam friends' private lobbies to the lobby list. I still get a few complaints about lobbies being removed, but personally I found the game a lot more fun without them. I felt they slowed down the game a lot and were inherently flawed in a lot of ways. There were some features in them that I'll admit were nice, like being able to change match settings between games, but also things like that I think can be done without the use of lobbies. Overall, I think the game feels a lot more stable and fun now, but let me know what you guys think of this update, and subscribe for more. I'll be focusing on overhauling weapons and combat next.